Today we're going to start drawing the cantilever clamp in lesson 3. Um, for that, I'm going to access my notes on Shobi. I've downloaded them to Notability so they're easier to highlight, but these are available on Shobi. We're going to look at the top-down design. These are lesson 3, section 3. You can get most of what you need for the basic sketches out of this drawing right here. Mostly the spacing and the diameters of the circles that you're drawing. Notice that they don't give you all the diameters. That's because some of the circles are similar to others, or they're the same diameter as others. For example, this circle here, you don't get a diameter for that because it's the same size as this circle and it's the same size as this circle over here. As far as the smaller circles, we have okay, this circle right here has a dimension of 0.25. But there's a bunch of other circles that do not have the diameters, but they're going to be the same size. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and you see that there are two circles here. The inside circle is also 0.25. The outside circle being, let's make it a little smaller, 0.313, and that's that circle right there. And if you find it difficult to notice that, I mean, the reason that I know this is because they actually tell you this further up the notes. They give you your dimensions for every little part, and they actually, further down, they tell you, hey, if you didn't notice that, these are the circles that are similar to each other. You don't want to set the dimensions for each circle, because you're going to end up with a screen with a bunch of dimensions on it. Just set up the dimensions for one of the circles and then make the other circles equal in size as that one circle you dimensioned. I'll show you how we're going to do that. One of the other things that they show you here, besides the distances between each of the parts, is the constraints. Now, your constraints have to be the right type of constraints for your drawing to work, because once you start messing around with it, like, you can actually move the different parts, and I'll show you how to do that. You'll notice that if you don't do it right, then the drawing is going to get distorted. Now, if you close out the drawing the right way, it should have that shade of gray that you see here, that shade right there. That you should get that if your drawing is a close drawing, and your lines will either be blue or black if your constraints are adequate. If you're telling it to do two things that are opposed to each other, for example, you tell this to be at a length, let me click. You tell this to be you tell this to be attached to the midpoint of it, but then you tell it to be at this distance from the edge. The midpoint of this line is not at 0.813 away from the edge. The midpoint is going to be here. So if you tell Onshape to, hey, put this circle at the midpoint of this line right here, and then you tell it this over here, it's going to turn red because it can't do that. Especially if you also tell it that this line needs to be this length. So those are things that you got to keep in mind. That's why when your constraints are they are going up against each other, and you'll get a red line. Now, let's start our drawing. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Sketch over here in the top left, the Sketch menu. It tells me select a plane. Now, to do this, I can do a couple of things. I can either click on the front plane itself on the screen, or I can go to the menu on the left, the Features menu, and click on that, which is what I'm going to do. Immediately selects your sketch, and it asks you, what do you want to do? I want to draw a circle. Now, it's going to be kind of awkward for me to draw a circle. I can still draw it because I want to start the circle of the center point of the origin. The origin is that point in the middle. So I can click on that, and then I can draw any diameter I want. It doesn't matter because I'm going to change it. Now it's going to be kind of awkward to draw it like this, so what I'm going to do is I want the front plane to face me. Now, if you're on a desktop or a laptop, you can manipulate that cube on the top right so that the front face faces you. If you're on an iPad like I am, you can click on that and then click front, and automatically it's going to set up that way. And now this little top circle to the right, to the top right, that I'm going to click on is going to turn orange. That is going to allow me to actually move stuff here without tilting the plane. So I have that circle. Now, if I click on that circle, I can actually change its size. Okay? All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a line. Okay. And my line's going to look like this. It's going to go from here to here to here. Boom. Just want to draw a line. Now, I'm going to unclick line because I don't want to draw another line as I'm changing this. I need this line to go from regular line to construction line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to click construction, this button right here. So I'm going to click that, boom, my line's a construction line. I'm going to unhighlight it by just clicking away from it. And now there's a couple of things that need to happen. I need to attach that longer line to the center of that circle, and I need these two lines to be perpendicular to each other. It doesn't matter in which order you do it, as long as you do them. I'm going to set them perpendicular to each other first, so I'm going to click that line and this line. Then I'm going to click the sketch menu and click perpendicular down here. Boom. Now they're perpendicular to each other. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that this line is going through the center of that circle. So I click that line and I click the center of that circle. And then again, I'm going to click sketch. Now I'm going to click coincident. Boom. Notice what happened there, right? Now I can manipulate this line. I can change all these different things. I can do all sorts of things here. And it doesn't matter the size and all that, because I'm going to change that as I go. Okay. So all right, I have that right there. Let me edit it a little bit. I'm just gonna stretch this line over here like this. I'm gonna stretch this line over here like this. Boom. And I'm gonna push it up. Boom. All right. Just creating some separation there. All right. So now I'm gonna draw my circles so that they look something like this. I'm not gonna focus on the size of them yet because I can change that later. So I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna click center point circle. And I'm going to begin drawing my circles. I'm going to draw my big circles first. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Now I'm going to add my smaller circles. And there are 2 circles in here. There's one here and there's one here. And then there's a random circle floating in the air over here. Okay, now I'm done with those. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the sizes of my circles. We have this base circle right here, the original one, and that's going to be 1.25. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click on sketch, I'm going to click on dimension, and I'm going to click on the circle, and now I have this over here. I'm going to click on the numbers here, and that should pop up. So it should be 1.25. Click OK, and that's all of that is going to change. All right. let's see. All right, so now I have that dimension set. I'm gonna work on the smaller circles now. So as you see, the dimension still clicked up here, and I'm gonna click on this one. Now, this dimension has to be, let's click on this over here. This is supposed to be 0.25. So again, I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna click on the numbers, and it's gonna say 0.25. Okay, boom, right away. Once you click that, you know, see the dimensions turn black. I can manipulate that and move it anywhere I want. I can get it out of the way. And I'm gonna change my other dimensions. How am I gonna do that with the smaller circles instead of clicking dimensions every single time? Well, I have those dimensions set already. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna click on that circle and any of the other circles that I want that to have the same dimension. Then I'm going to click on my sketch menu and then press equal down here. And boom, automatically they turn the same size. Now I can click on this circle and this other one right here instead of clicking to the original one. And again, set them equal to each other, boom. And I'm gonna do that again. Oh, hold on. This and this equal. And then the small one here with this one, and they're gonna be equal. Boom, done. Now, I have my small circle set up. This one over here, I know this because I've done this a bunch of times. This dimension over here is supposed to be 0.313. Boom. You see, now it looks like our drawing over here. Okay? And that's what we're aiming for right now. So the next one that we're going to set up is this circle over here. This one. The 0.875, which is going to be the same as this. And then afterwards, we're going to do that one over there. So 0.875. I'm going to click on dimensions, and I'm going to click on that circle. And I'm going to say click on that, and the number is 0.875. Okay, boom. Again, I want this circle to be the same size as this one. So I go here, and I click equal. Done. Oh, and I made a mistake. So I clicked on those two circles, and I got this dimension over here. I'm going to unclick it because I don't want that dimension. All right, now this circle over here, I want the dimension for the circle. So this is going to be, I click on the numbers, 0.625. Boom. And you know what? I'm going to double check because I did that out of memory, and I don't know if that's the right number. 0.25. Boom, we're good. So all of our circles for the big arm are set. Even this one, we just need to, the one that's floating in the middle of the air here, we just need to make sure that we put it in the right place. Now, what we need to do is set our distances. So I need to make the distance between these two 1.75, the distance between those two over here 2.5, and this is going to be 2. So that's our next step. Okay. So now, again, click on distance, and I'm going to click on the center of the circle and the center of the circle, and okay. Click on the number, it's going to say 1.75. Okay, boom. And now I can move it up and down. I can put it wherever I want. Again, the dimension tab is still highlighted. I'm going to click here and here. I'm going to go up. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to click on the number. I'm going to say 2.5. Boom. Set. I can move it wherever I want. Now I'm going to do these two. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to click this. I'm going to move this away because I want to be able to click on the right thing. Okay. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this circle out of there. Boom. Okay. All you got to do is click away from it and then move it. Alright, so now the distance from, I'm going to click dimension, and the distance from the center to here is going to be, just going to click the number, and I'm going to put 2. It was almost that size. And then I'm going to bring it up, okay, so that they're about the same position, I mean, you can fix that later. It's not that important. And the same for this. I'm going to move it out of the way. Okay, the other thing that I need to do is I need to make sure that that blue circle that right there rests on that line. So how I'm going to do it, first of all, I'm going to unclick dimensions. Now I'm going to click the circle and I'm going to click that line. And now I'm going to sketch and coincident, which is this one right here. Oh, my bad. I'm going to click the circle, I'm going to click the line, and I'm going to click on tangent. Not coincidence, tangent, which is this one right here. And if you're taking geometry, you should know that tangent is going to touch a circle at just one point. So if I move this circle around, it's just going to be on that line. I can't, had I not set it equal to the other circle, I could also change its size and it would still touch that line, but I can't change its size right now because I set this circle equal to this circle over here. All right. Another thing I need to do is I need to set the distance between this circle and the big circle over here, that blue circle and the original circle. I need to set it to 1.438, right? And so I need to set it to 1.438. So there's a little trick here, and you guys see this point right here that I'm highlighting. I'm going to add that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on sketch. I'm going to find point, which is this one. Boom. And I'm going to click around that area. It should immediately snap to it. Boom. That is my point of tangency. And it's immediately attached itself to it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click dimensions again. Click the center of the big circle. And click that point of tangency. Click the numbers. And again, I'm going to check it's 1.438. So I'm going to say 1.438. Okay. Boom. Okay. You see what happened there? The point moved, but not the circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to this point. And to do it, I'm going to click away from dimension. I'm going to click this on point. And again, I'm going to click on tangent. Okay, not tangent. Coincident. Sometimes there's a bit of trial and error. There you go, coincident. Coincident worked. So now our circle is at that distance, and I'm just going to move this out of the way so it's not part of the drawing. Okay, so now my circles are drawn. Now what I need to do is I need to build the rest of my arm. I need to build the actual the body of the arm. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, one of the things that you need to understand is that these lines are all tangential to the circles. Well, even these to this circle right here. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna draw the lines. As long as they're attached to the circle, it'll work. And then I'm gonna draw the lines, and then I'm gonna ask them to attach themselves to the point of tangency, and automatically they're gonna go into this mode. Obviously, this line over here is gonna look more like this. It's gonna just go a straight line. I'm gonna have a straight line here. You'll see, and then I'm going to fix it so that it looks like it's curved. Okay, so here we go. And also, you're gonna notice how the inside of it is gonna be shaded gray, just like these. As you can see, my circles are black because they're everything works out fine, right? Okay, what's happening here? All right, so now, I think I was asking it to do something. Okay, let's see. I'm going to draw my line. Okay, so I'm gonna click here, and I'm gonna click here. Oh wait. So I'm gonna have to unclick the line every time I draw a line. Here, here, unclick line again, here, here, unclick line, click line, here, here. Okay, so now we have our line set. What we gotta do is we have to make sure that my lines are tangent to my circles. So I'm going to unclick line. See, I forgot to unclick it on time, so it drew that extra line. I'm just gonna backspace one. Okay. So now I want these lines to be tangent to the circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my line and my circle. It's not letting me do it. Why is it not letting me do it? Okay, that's not good. I think I clicked out of it by mistake. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. Edit. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay. Circle and line. You see what happened? For some reason, it wasn't letting me. It was not letting me click on the circle and the line at the same time. So all I did is I okayed the sketch, and then I'm editing the sketch. So now I click the line and the circle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that sketch menu. I'm going to click tangent. Automatically my line shifts. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side of the line. Click the line and a circle, and again, tangent. Boom, the line moves. I'm going to do the same thing for all the lines. All right? Line, circle, tangent, moves. Again, line, circle, tangent, moves. Circle, tangent, line, circle, and tangent. And you notice how my lines turn black? That's a good thing. Again, I'm going to, wait, I don't want to click a line. I want to click line, circle, and I'm going to click tangent, line, circle, tangent. Again, two more. Line, circle, and tangent. And the other side, line, circle, circle, line, tangent, turn black, line, circle, tangent, again, line, circle, click, tangent, boom. Now all my lines are black, and you notice that the inside of my arm is shaded gray, because that means that all the lines are closed. The only thing that I have left to do is this part right here in the middle that this portion right here, which I'm gonna do right now. That's if you scroll down here, it tells you that you're going to where is it? I mean, my radius is 0.313, and it tells you over here, and I'm gonna chamfer that. So I'm gonna go here, boom. All right, now I'm gonna click here, and I'm going to go into sketch fillet, not chamfer, sketch fillet. I'm gonna click that. Now I'm going to click my two lines. I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna click here. Automatically, they're going to curve into each other. So now I have to give it the right radius, 0.313. Boom. I'm done with my arm, and that's my radius right there. I click OK, and your arm is set. Let's click front again. Lock this up. Now, if you click on this, you should be able to move it. Oh wait, I need to open the sketch for that to work. Edit. Okay, now I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna move this. Come on, don't let me down. It's not letting me do it for some reason. Anyhow, you should be fine with it. But that's your arm right there. We're going to draw the smaller arm on the side, and then we're going to reattach it. Anyway, that's a good job.